Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss about polycystic kidney disease. Poly means multiple and cyst means fluid filled sac. Here is a cyst diagram of cyst. This is an epithelial lining which is outer lining, and here is a cavity. This cavity is filled with water. Why this is filled with water? Because these epithelium attract water inside to fill. These cysts are benign in nature, means that are non-cancerous. So what does it mean by polycystic kidney disease? It is a genetic disorder in which formation of multiple benign cysts, primarily in kidney, causing kidney enlargement and loses its functions. What are the functions of kidney? Main purpose is urine formation, salt balance and secretion of hormones. These cysts are continuously growing in number and size along with the age, and it is present both in the cortex and the medulla. These increasing number and size in cyst causes damaging of kidney, leads to renal insufficiency, means kidney is, because of the increasing cyst size and number, kidney, medulla and cortex, interstitial tissue and nephrons are being damaged, and because of that kidney is unable to perform its function properly. That causes renal insufficiency. This renal insufficiency can be progressed into end-stage renal disease and at last renal failure. Primarily this cyst, because this is a genetic disease, it is primarily concerned with the kidney, but the cysts are also present in liver, pancreas and seminal vesicles and other organs too. And it can causes complications in CVS, cerebrovascular, cardiovascular system and gastrointestinal system. In cardiovascular system, there can be Berry aneurysm, and GIT, there could be diverticula, formation of diverticula in intestine, mostly colon. We will gonna later discuss each of the point in the detail. Because polycystic kidney disease is a genetic disease, it is mainly of two types. It is autosomal dominant type and it is autosomal recessive type. What is autosomal dominant? Where both one of the allele is required to give symptoms or progression of disease, and what is recessive disease? Where mutation in both of the allele is required to give clinical picture. Autosomal dominant disease is, the onset of autosomal disease is in adulthood, while in autosomal recessive disease the onset may be in intrauterine life or maybe infantile period or in the childhood. This autosomal dominant or adult polycystic kidney disease can't be, the symptoms cannot be appear before 30 years of age. Now we're going to study about adult polycystic kidney disease. Adult means the onset is in adulthood, near about 30 years of age. We now try to understand the genetics of adult polycystic kidney disease. As we know, this is an autosomal dominant disease. The genes lie upon chromosome 16p. There is a chromosome number 16 and 16p is a part of chromosome 16 known as 16p. There is a gene known as APKD APKD1 gene. This APKD1 gene has two alleles and it encodes for polycystin 1 protein. As well, there is a chromosome 4q. 4 is the chromosome number, q is the part. So here is a chromosome 4q. It contains PKD2 gene. This PKD2 gene encode for polycystin 2 protein. Now we try to understand what What is the function of polycystin 1 and polycystin 2 genes? Here is a structure of nephron. In nephron, here is PCT, loop of Henle and DCT. This nephron is made up of multiple tubular epithelial cells. So here are the cells lie in PCT, loop of Henle and DCT and so on, collecting duct and Bowman's capsule. These cells contain cilia over it. Over the surface of these cells there is cilia. This cilia is known as primary cilia. What is the structure of cilia? This cilia contains polycystin 1 protein and polycystin 2 protein in it. What is the function of polycystin 1, polycystin 2 protein? So, to understand this, we have to understand a kind of physiology of urine formation. Here is a glomerulus. Glomerulus filtrates plasma in the Bowman capsule. This Bowman capsule, from the Bowman capsule, this plasma flows in the PCT, loop of Henle and DCT. Here are in the plasma there is calcium plus 2 molecules are present. This cilia, so what does this cilia do and what does this polycystin protein do? This polycystin 1 and polycystin 2 which is present in this cilia allows calcium plus 2 ion which is present in this filtrate. That cilia and that polycystin 1 and protein 2 allows is this calcium plus 2 ion into the cell, and that calcium plus 2 inhibits the cell proliferation pathway. So here because of the calcium plus 2 absorbed by polycystin 1 and polycystin 2 gene via primary cilia, it is an important molecule for cell proliferation mechanism. Now what happens here? There is mutation in this, either in the polycystin APKD1 gene or mutation in the APKD2 gene. Because of this mutation, there is absence or abnormal polycystin 1 or there is absence or abnormal polycystin 2 protein. This abnormal or absent or dysfunctional protein is unable to allow calcium plus into the cell of tubular epithelium. Because of this abnormal mechanism, there is absence of calcium plus 2 ion in the cell. So what happens here? Because there is no calcium plus 2 or very less calcium plus 2 present in the cell, because of that there is cell proliferation pathway which was previously inhibited is now being activated, and now it is activated. Because of that there is abnormal proliferation of tubular epithelium of nephron. So here is a nephron and there is tubular epithelium of nephron, and we can say here this tubular epithelium started to proliferate and make a cyst-like structure here. So here is the cyst-like structure, and this mechanism gives rise to the cylindrical dilation of tubule. This is the dilation of tubule, and in which manner? In the cylindrical manner. So it is a cylindrical dilation of tubule. What is the shape of cyst? It is cylindrical. But now so here is a cyst. Here is a cyst, and this is the epithelial wall of cyst, or we can see here this is a epithelial wall of cyst, and inside that there is a cavity which is filled with water. The pathology of polycystic kidney disease is ciliopathy. This is the renal manifestation of polycystic kidney disease. Along with that, what are the extrarenal manifestations? Polycystic kidney disease, there is chances of cyst formation in the liver, in the pancreas, in the ovaries, in the spleen, and there are chances of the formation of colonic diverticula. So here is a colon and this is a diverticulum. Along with it, there are high chances of formation of berry aneurysm in brain. So in brain there is circle of Willis, as we all know. In that circle of Willis there is high chances of formation of berry aneurysm. Along with it, what can be the another complication? Maybe mitral valve prolapse. What are the clinical features of PCKD, adult PCKD? Because of that, for cyst formation, there is compression of the nearby structures like glomerulus, interstitium, or tubular or nephron. So this cyst causes basically compression or pressure symptoms on the glomerulus or blood vessels or of the vasculature on the interstitium and collecting duct and collecting system. What is collecting system? It is minor calyx, major calyx, renal papilla and ureter, urinary bladder and so on. Now we try to understand each and every point in detail. So because now let's suppose there is pressure is applied on the glomerulus or the blood vessels like renal artery, renal arteriole or renal efferent or efferent arteriole. So what happens here? Because of the pressure applied by the cyst, there is decreased GFR in the nephron or kidney. There is decreased GFR causes oliguria. Because there is decreased GFR, there is less filtration of blood into the tubules, and because of this there is less urine formation. Because of there is less urine formation, that means less waste products are being excreted. That is why there is increased uric acid, there is blood urea nitrogen, and there is increase in blood urea nitrogen and increase in creatinine, serum creatinine. If this process is being continuous, there is increase blood urea nitrogen and creatinine. There is progressive increase in both of those, and because of both of those, there is renal insufficiency, and this can lead to renal failure. Because of the decreased GFR, there is also renin, angiotensin, aldosterone activation, system activation. So what happens here in the renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system? There is reabsorption of water and sodium into the blood again. So there may be hypertension in the blood. Why in the body? Why hypertension? Because there is already decreased GFR, that means already sufficient amount of blood present in the body, and along with that there is also extra reabsorption of fluid that may cause hypertension in the body. So what are the two main features of decreased GFR due to polycystic kidney adult polycystic kidney disease? Is oliguria and hypertension. Along with it there may be azotemia. Now if the cyst compresses collecting duct and collecting system, then there is blockage of the urine passage. There is blockage of urine passage. Because of that, urine is unable to get out of the body, and there is accumulation and backflow of the urine. So let's suppose here is a nephron and there is a collecting duct, and this opens in the renal papilla. Here is the minor and major calyx. So what will happen here? Because of the cyst is here present, or the cyst is present here, So what happens here, because of that there is obstruction, there is narrowing or obstruction. That obstruction causes accumulation of urine here, or maybe the backflow of urine, accumulation and backflow of urine in the tubule lumen of the nephron. That can again cause oliguria because of there is no passage of urine, anisotemia because of this, because of the accumulation of fluid here, there would be less pressure difference between the nephron and glomerular capillaries, and because of that there is decreased GFR. Along with it, because of decreased GFR, there is azotemia, and this may lead to renal insufficiency and renal failure. Prolonged accumulation of urine in the tubules may lead to kidney stone also. Now suppose that this cyst is applying pressure on the interstitium. What happens in this case, there is, because of the continuous pressure, there is destruction of renal parenchyma. This renal parenchyma, because of the destruction of renal parenchyma, there may be flank pain and hematuria. What are the associated symptoms of adult or autosomal dominant polycystic kidney disease? There may be cyst present in the liver along with the kidney. There may be cyst present in seminal vesicle. There may be pancreatic cyst formation. There may be berry aneurysm in the circle of Willis. How we will diagnose it? It can be diagnosed by in the USG we can see bilateral means both in the kidney, cyst formations in the kidney. In intravenous pyelogram, if we try to diagnose it via radiological examination, there is intravenous pyelogram we can do. What is intravenous pyelogram? So there is a dye we will inject via veins, and because so it is known as intravenous. And what is pyelogram? We will see it in this dye will appear in the radiological examination, and it can give a specific picture. So it is in the radiological examination in intravenous pyelogram. What we will see, we will see a spider leg appearance. What is this spider leg appearance? So in radiological examination we inject a dye, and then that dye comes in the kidney and it gives the kidney this kind of appearance. So these are the renal papilla, minor calyx and major calyx. These are this white structure, this is the white structure, thread-like structure. These are minor calyx, major calyx and renal papilla. They look like spider leg appearance. They look like spider leg. Why they look like spider leg? Because of the cyst, there is stretching. There is stretching of kidney interstitium and and along with that there is a stretching of minor calyx, major calyx and pelvis. This stretching of minor, major calyx and pelvis look like spider leg in the intravenous pyelogram. Also in intravenous pyelogram we can see a Swiss cheese pattern in the kidney. So here we can say here is a Swiss cheese and there are holes in the Swiss cheese like this. And because this cyst, what happens here, when we inject dye and that dye comes in the kidney, these cysts are unable to stain via that dye. So it gives this black circle like structure, this black circle, and the areas who stain by this dye gives this white structure, some white color structure we can say. This is not clear in the diagram, but here are some white areas also. So there are some black areas and there are some white areas. So because of that black and white areas, this kidney looks like a Swiss cheese. So in adult polycystic kidney disease, there is Swiss cheese pattern in the kidney due to the renal parenchyma staining. Some quick points for MCQs. What is the most common renal symptom in the PCKD? In the adult PCKD. What is symptom? We all know symptom which is we can explain via ourselves. So pain is a symptom. That's why most common renal symptom is bilateral flank pain. Why this bilateral flank pain happens? Because of the damaging of the interstitium. There is stretching of the because there is a cyst, there is because due to the cyst there is stretching in parenchyma, and that stretching causes pain. As we all know, this is a bilateral disease, so it is present in both kidney. That's why the pain is present also in both kidneys. Most common sign, it's hypertension. Note the blood, not hematuria. Note hematuria is not, but hypertension is the most common sign. Most common extrarenal manifestation is liver cyst. Most GI anomalies is colonic diverticula. Most common CVS anomaly is Berry aneurysm, but the finding is mitral valve prolapse. So this was all about autosomal dominant kidney disease. Thank you for watching.